So many network marketers fall in love with a health and wellness product, and then they realize that there's an incredible opportunity to build the lifestyle and income of their dreams. But what happens when you get started and you run out of friends and family to talk to, and what you're doing on social media just isn't quite getting you where you want to be? Well, the truth is it's probably not your fault. It just takes a little marketing know-how that you may not be getting from anywhere else. So on this podcast, I'm sharing with you the secrets that I've been able to learn from all of my top earner friends and mentors. I'm pulling back the curtain on exactly what it takes to get people excited about the wellness products that you have to offer, to help people improve their lives, and to get you to the rank that you want to be at. My name is Soraya Goddard, and this is Secrets to Marketing Your Wellness MLM. Hello friends, I am back after a small hiatus. I want to catch you up on what I've been up to, lots of excitement, share some of my struggles that I've gone through over the last week or so, I guess like 2 weeks, and share with you some things that I'm seeing in my first Instagram course. Oh my gosh, so much to keep you updated on. So I'm actually in the car right now driving to a hair appointment, which quite frankly has been the first moment. This has been the first moment that I've had a chance to breathe in about 2 weeks. And that's not a complaint. Life is good, but there is a lot going on right now. And so I think I've overscheduled myself. I have a tendency to do this between my full-time job and building my business and everything else going on. Sometimes, I kind of like to be busy, but I also like to achieve. And so my default, just sharing that in case any of this resonates with some of you guys, my default is to schedule everything. And unfortunately, I don't always allow for, things to change and overtime and all that stuff. And so it's just been a heck of a 2 weeks. Plus I was traveling last week. If you follow me at all on Facebook, I didn't post on Instagram all that much last week because I was, for my 9-to-5, my Army stuff, I was in Norman, Oklahoma at a conference, and it just ended up being longer hours than I expected, and it's not really appropriate for me to be documenting my day job on social media. So sometimes in situations like that, I just tend to go a little quiet, and that's okay, totally okay. It's just kind of the cost of what I do. And so added to that, I got a terrible, terrible cold. I very rarely get sick, but this one knocked me out. I think it was just a combination of traveling and staying up late for that traveling. And, it always happens when you travel, right? So I'm still actually fighting it a little bit. You might be able to hear it. So last week was a doozy, but all fine. And that all coincided with the launch of my first Instagram course. So thank you to those of you who are in it. It has been a blast. I am so pumped. I also lost my mind, quite frankly, because I only charged, I just undercharged. I undercharged for the initial week when it was for pre-sale. I doubled the price, and quite frankly, I'm still undercharging for it. It is ridiculous. I have 6 modules that I'm delivering, plus a whole bunch of bonuses, plus worksheets, you name it. And it's insane what I'm charging for it. Each of those modules that I'm recording has been almost an hour and a half of really in-depth training. Gotten some great feedback. Just in module 1, I had one of my students, with the homework assignment that I gave them, get a new customer. And we hadn't even gotten to posting yet. It was insane. A lot of people having some brilliant aha moments. I'll share with you a little bit about kind of what the aha moments have been. But yeah, so some things that I just wanted to kind of share with you in all of life's craziness, how I was able to launch a course and what my thought process was, why I did it. And is it smart for you to launch a course? I want to answer all of that. So I have been playing around with Instagram for a long time, and I am by no means the world's foremost expert on it, but I went on a mission about a year ago to figure out how to recruit off Instagram. And by recruit, I mean gain new customers and or team members. whether they have the intention of business building or not. And so I knew it could be done. I saw other people doing it, and I wanted to do it in a way that was authentic to me. And so a lot of experimentation, a lot of hours spent, and I figured out a way that is working for me. And so I have been informally teaching on this podcast, on Facebook Lives. I did a couple trainings in some big network marketing groups. I've been teaching my fellow members of my mastermind and the Top Earner Club. And so somehow, just from teaching, I got a reputation for knowing how to do things on Instagram. And quite frankly, it's just because I spent some time with it, right? What you study and what you practice every day, you're going to learn. And so that got around, and I had so many people coming to me wanting Instagram advice. And so I would say for probably the last 6 months almost, I have been wanting to do a course and just haven't felt like I had the time to do it. But at some point it just got ridiculous that so many people were asking me to put something together and to do trainings in their Facebook groups and this and that I did it. I just scheduled it, right? I did it imperfectly. And here was my thought process. If your job is to create courses, then cover your ears right now, because I don't know if I did it right or wrong, but I did it and it's working and it's amazing. So I guess that's success. But I literally just got out my calendar and I tried to figure out when was I going to have 2 weeks to drip out content. Here's what I knew I wanted to do. I wanted to pre-sell the course. In other words, I wanted people to buy before I had created the course. And the reason why I did this is because I wanted people to tell me what they struggled with. We all suffer from the curse of knowledge when it comes to marketing and when it comes to selling our products. And so we know things that we assume other people know. So one of the best ways to make sure that you don't create a course that is too over the top or too in depth is to pre-sell. Now, I am not suggesting that you as a network marketer need a course at all. In fact, I would dissuade you from it. It is not something that I set out to do. But if you're in the position where you have gained a reputation as an expert in something, or just you have knowledge to share, having an info product might be an additional stream of income that, could benefit your business. So I wanted to pre-sell it, and what I ended up doing is vastly underpricing it. So this is a lesson that I've learned now. I put it out there. I said, hey, this is what I'm going to cover. I sketched out that I wanted 6 different modules and what those topics were. I broke it down in a logical pattern, kind of chronologically what you would need to know with the goal of learning how to recruit and gain new customers and reps on Instagram. And so throughout those 6 modules, I kind of sketched out what I wanted to put in them, but I underestimated how much content I knew and that I wanted to share with people. And so I am the type of person that when I over-deliver. That's what I aim to do. If you buy something from me, or you are, I'm coaching you in some way, I am going to spend a ton of time with you. If you're in my team, if you're a leader that works with me, you've got my attention. Now, you've got to do the work. I'm not just going to give you my attention if you don't do work, but if you are doing work, I will coach you and teach you all day long. So, in this course, I vastly over-delivered, I think. And at least that's what I'm getting from my students. They're like, wow, I had no idea. Really, really fun stuff. So I sketched out the 6 modules, I put up a sales page, and I went for it. Now, I didn't have a whole lot of time to put all of that together. So I could have gotten fancy and done it with upsells and downsells and all that stuff, but I didn't do that just because, quite frankly, I didn't have the time. Eventually, I will have additional upsells and some downsells, but for right now, it's just the course, and the people who signed up early got some really sweet bonuses for a steal. So now I'm going back, and I laid out a schedule where I've got 6 modules and 2 modules of Q&A. So basically 2 intense weeks of teaching about Instagram. And then what I've done is I'm recording those modules, and then, so I'm doing them live where any student can be on live and ask questions and all that good stuff. And then I'm recording them, and then that will be the course that I will be able to sell. So anyone who ever wants Instagram training can buy that course, which I'm excited about because that means me not answering any questions about Instagram unless I really want to. People can just buy it. If they don't want to buy it, then that's cool too. So it's been a lot of fun. I'm having a blast teaching about Instagram. I will tell you though, as a network marketer who is currently building a team, it has taken me away from some of my normal team building and recruiting activities, which is the downfall. And I knew that that would be the case going into this, and I thought that it was worth it. At some point, I just had to get this done because I wanted to do it, and I can't be 7 places at one time. So the things that I normally do, my daily method of operation, I'm hitting the bare minimums, but I'm not going beyond that. So I'm doing my reach outs, I'm doing my minimum marketing marketing things. So podcasting and blogging, and then Facebook and Instagram posts, but it's like the bare minimum. So just know that if you're going to do some sort of a side project or an additional product while you are building your team, your normal stuff might suffer. And it's really important that you pay attention to that so that you don't have a month where you get to the end of the month and you're like, oh God, I didn't hit my minimum qualifications or my minimum rank or, whatever it is that you're doing. So let's see what else. Which, by the way, if you want to still grab my Instagram course, you can still join us. It is www.sorayagoddard.com/Instagram. Having a blast. Now, let me dive into just some of the things that I'm noticing that I'm getting feedback on from students. So, number one, a lot of people don't really understand what goes into running an Instagram account. In other words, there's an art to it. There is an art to it. It takes time to write out captions. It takes time to really think about what you want to convey in a caption. It takes time to take a good photo. It takes time to edit photos. And P.S., you should be editing every single photo that goes on Instagram, even if it's just cropping it. You've got to do some sort of edits. So it takes time to edit your photos. It takes time to, if you want to, apply a Lightroom preset or some sort of filter or adjust all that, adjust your photo, which you should be doing in some way, shape, or form, at least adjusting brightness and color and cropping. It takes time to do that. It takes time to plan out your feed. It takes time to do stories. It takes time to link to things, all that good stuff. But guess what? This is what we do, right? If you have chosen to build on Instagram, then Instagram is your marketing channel, and you should be pumped every day to do that. So I've got a lot of students who didn't realize how much goes into building off Instagram. And I personally think that once you get used to it, it is so much fun, but it does take more work than Facebook, in my humble opinion. There's just more to learn. Now, once it's second nature, and especially if you love the platform, like it's a joy to do because it's a great place to connect. And oh, by the way, if you're recruiting and selling things on it, then it's even better, right? You're getting paid for it. So who wouldn't want to do it? But it does take some time. So people, especially maybe people who aren't naturally really good at tech and early adopters, they come to things later on in the game. Those kind of people are going to have a little bit more of an uphill climb to learn the basic fundamentals of how to recruit off Instagram, but that's okay. It's still totally possible. And so that's one thing that I'm learning as I'm going through with my first group of students. I think I have 35 people in my first class, I think as of today. So the second thing I'm learning is that a lot of people they find themselves overwhelmed at simple things. And here is what my take is on overwhelm. And so just so you know, I'm a recovering overwhelmaholic. Everything overwhelmed me. And I couldn't figure out why. And what this is like therapy. I'm about to bring you some deep inside therapy here. If you find yourself in overwhelm a lot, or you use the word overwhelm a lot, and you have this feeling of like, oh dear God, I don't even know where to start. In my humble opinion, I think it's because you're trying to be perfect. I think it's really perfectionism in disguise, okay? You don't know where to start because you want to do it the right way. And I will tell you, in marketing, what I've learned is there's no right way. There are many ways. Sure, there's preferred methods. Sure, there are things that work better than others, but you've got to start somewhere. So day one, when I was trying to build my business on Instagram, my photos were ugly, my captions sucked, I didn't know how to do anything, and I did it anyway. So you've got to push past that and understand that there's going to be a growth period. There's going to be a period where you don't know what you're doing, and that's okay. So I'll give you an example. I taught about captions first. And if you're in my course, you know why I taught captions first. I think they are the most important thing on Instagram. Now, they're not the first thing that people see and pay attention to, but I think that they are the most important thing if you want to grow your business. So Captions, I went and dove in first, and I gave a lot of information. In fact, I probably gave more information than people know, but again, I wanted to, or need to know, but I wanted to over-deliver. So I'm going through captions, and I've had quite a few people message me going, can you review my captions? Can you look at my captions? And of course I could, but I want them to get into the habit of posting their captions even if they're not perfect. And I'd almost argue that there's no definition, you can't meet the definition of perfect because it's just you. But I wanted people to get in the habit of just taking action and posting the way that I've taught them to do captions. And so that's hanging some people up. And I'm not saying it's a big deal, but some people are getting caught up in like, oh God, is my caption good enough? It doesn't matter. Just post it. Don't worry about it. Same thing with photos. So we moved on to the module with photos last night. And today some people are like, yes, awesome. Here's my before and after of my photos, and look, I learned how to crop, and look, I did some editing, and doesn't it look better? And I'm like, awesome, fantastic. Other people are like, what do I do? Is this okay? How do I edit this? Girl, take 17 more selfies and pick a good one, right? That's really all it is. It's just keep taking photos until you find one that works, and then post it anyway, even if you think that it isn't great, and repeat until you're really good at Instagram. That's kind of the secret sauce. So if you find yourself in overwhelm, just remind yourself that it's okay to move forward imperfectly. You have to move forward imperfectly, because if you don't push through the imperfect and the mistakes, you're never going to learn how to do it correctly. It does take making some mistakes or doing things without being ideal, and your ability to push through that uncomfortable period is the mark of someone who's going to succeed. If you are comfortable with being uncomfortable, you're going to crush it. You're going to crush it. You may not today, you may not tomorrow, but your willingness to be uncomfortable is a determinant of how well you're going to sustain effort in network marketing. Because network marketing is uncomfortable. Anything in life is uncomfortable when you're learning it, right? Or when you're building it, or when you're going through it, or when you're pushing through something difficult. I don't believe in the Gary V, you've got to hustle your face off all the time. Like, that's not what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is that there's going to be a growth period. I'm not telling you that you need to pull an all-nighter, or, I'm not telling you need to sacrifice your health or anything like that. But I am telling you that you're going to have to do things that you don't like and that you are not comfortable with. And so I'm excited that some of my students are really taking that and running with it, and they're posting pictures that they have never posted before. And some of them I've even seen have used what I'm teaching on Facebook, and it works there too. They're posting selfies. They're getting really specific with telling people their story. They're getting specific with calls to action. So some really good stuff, awesome results. So pumped. If you are in my class, thank you for trusting me. Thank you for taking my advice and putting it to work, because for those of you who are doing that work, it's going to pay off big time. Let's see what else. I will also say that a lot of people are really concerned about the cohesiveness of their feed, and I appreciate that. But I also think that is not the most important thing going on in Instagram. It's how you tell your story and how you get your message across. That is far more important than any cohesive Lightroom filter or feed that you can possibly have. But I am teaching them about that too. So all sorts of good stuff happening over there in Instagram land. If you want to join us, come over. It's at www.sorayagoddard.com/Instagram, and jump in before I increase the price again, because I definitely will. It's silly how much information and how much goodness is in there. And just wait till we get to the module about, we're talking about the mechanics right now and how to do captions and sales psychology and how to tell your story. And we've gone through how to post good pictures, how to plan your pictures out, how to make it so that your feed looks beautiful and cohesive and all that good stuff. But the good stuff is yet to come. The good stuff is, how do you actually get somebody to buy? Where do you send them to? How do you get them to reach out to you? How do you get people to DM you? That's the good stuff. So if you're curious about how to do that, you've been on Instagram for years and you're like, nobody reaches out to me and all I get are fake bot followers and I don't understand it, and what are hashtags and how do I get people to actually reach out to me, then you definitely need that course. Go to sorayagoddard.com/Instagram and join us. You can join us at any time. The modules, whether you watch them live with us or you just review them after we've done all that, it doesn't matter. It's still the same great content. So jump on in. All right, guys, I hope that helped. If you like this episode, then screenshot it and tag me. Share it in your Instagram stories because that is where all the cool people are. Just kidding. I just love Instagram stories. They're so much fun. Okay, guys, I will talk to you later. Bye. Hey friends, I hope you enjoyed Secrets to Marketing Your Wellness MLM. Before you go though, I have something for you. If you are looking to grow your audience online via social media so that you can have people getting excited about your products and reaching out to you to learn more, then you need my cheat sheet that has 50 health and wellness Facebook Live topics that will attract an audience to you. It also walks you through the secret 4-part formula that you can follow on both Facebook and Instagram that is proven to have people reaching out to you. And when you get it, I am also sending you guys an audio file for those of you who love to listen to the information on the go. You can get both of those things at www.sorayagoddard.com/podcast. Again, that's sorayagoddard.com/podcast. SORAYAGODDARD.com/podcast. Thanks so much. Chat soon.